Due to the normality of everyone having a smartphone in 2019, we've somewhat grown attached to their respective virtual assistants. For example, Google Assistant on Android and Siri on iOS. With many attempts of implementing these assistants into audio devices in the past, they have been hit or miss for me personally. With that said, is this pair right here the one to show the industry how assistant integration should be handled? Introducing the OV Pro. Are these the smartest earphones in 2019? Let's find out.
This video was made possible with the help of PureVPN. This is a VPN service that will keep your browsing data secured and away from your service provider or other snoopers. Make your browsing safer today with your affiliate link in the description.
Before we begin, here's a disclosure. This product was sent to us for review free of charge. With that said, my evaluation on this product will not be affected by this kindly gesture. Let's get started. Unboxing this product is a rather simple experience. First, we remove the cover from around the packaging. Then we cut through the seal and lift it. Upon opening the box, we find a signed letter, the instructions, and finally the earphones themselves. We are just going to remove them from the box and set them aside for now to open the smaller box in the middle. Inside, you will find the USB-A to USB-C cable for charging, the 3.5mm connector to USB-C for using these wired, and some replacement ear tips. That's all for the unboxing. The exterior design consists of plastic and rubber. This pair is very flexible and very light, making it extremely easy to carry with you on your neck for the whole day. It's designed to be comfortable and lightweight, which was surely a success. You will find 7 buttons on these earphones. You will find a volume down, play pause, power, and volume up button, as well as the R button for controlling chat mode and ambient settings. On the left, you will find an L button for controlling muting calls, activating noise cancellation, and more. There is a single button on the top right earbud which is for activating Google Assistant or Siri, answering and ending phone calls, and more. I'll go into more detail with these later. As I just stated earlier, these are very comfortable to carry around. They are very lightweight and haven't bothered at all for the many hours a day, every day that I've had these on me. As for their fit in my ears, they are just fine. They do stick in my ears just fine and don't fall off very often for me, hence I'm not very much bothered by it. Overall, they are pretty comfortable. You can connect to these through Bluetooth. Powering on the OV Pros will immediately set them to pairing mode. On your device, select OV Loop and it should pair. The pairing process, as it is intended to work, seems simple and easy to do. However, I will have some comments on that later. The overall sound quality of these earphones is actually pretty good. They lack bass, but they don't really need it because they offer a decent amount of depth for most genres of music I listen to. Sure, I'd say that these are more for casual listening rather than for someone who needs to hear every detail of a song as clearly as possible. These are not for audiophiles, but in my opinion, they sound pretty good. For example, when it comes to metal, they sound pretty decent. I didn't feel like any instruments took precedent over the others, and the vocalists remained clear for the entirety of every song. For orchestral music, these also held up pretty well and didn't give me any annoyances. Now, something like hip-hop maybe isn't as pronounced as you might want it to be. Sure, bass might help a little bit here, but it's still enjoyable. Plus, if you already have earpods or AirPods and enjoy listening to hip-hop with those, then you'll still enjoy it with the OV Pros. Overall, it's nice for all genres. The playback controls are volume up and down, which are for directly controlling the volume, obviously. The middle button, however, does quite a lot. You can long press it to turn it on or off, press it once for playing or pausing music, press it twice for going to the next track, and press it 3 times for going to the previous track. These are all conveniently placed on the right side of these earphones, making them easy to reach. All useful stuff, pretty much covering all of the bases for audio control. So, now let's talk about the main feature of the OV Pros, their hearable functionality. This functionality enables your headphones to handle any messages you want to send through your voice and even reach your assistant without reaching for your phone. In my case, since I have a Pixel 2, it's the Google Assistant. This is toggled through the button on the right earbud, so just tap it once. From there, you can say things like OV Phone, OV Chat, or OV Alexa if you're using Alexa. OV Phone will trigger your assistant as well. This functionality works surprisingly well. Saying that command makes your assistant respond immediately and even makes a sound when it's triggered. You can ask it to do anything, such as searching for a song on Spotify, playing or pausing music, or asking it for directions. It's surprisingly useful and does almost eliminate completely the need to have to pull out your phone, depending on how capable your assistant is. With Google Assistant specifically, these work exceptionally. They've nailed it here. Now with Siri, for example, it's not quite as useful and misses some of my commands, but this is because Siri is lagging behind so much and not because of these earphones. It's worth keeping in mind. As for the other functions, such as OV Chat or OV Alexa, I don't use Alexa, so I left that out. But with the OV Chat, the earphones would be triggered but wouldn't accept any other commands beyond that. It seems to only work with the OV app, which wants you to import all of your contacts and more in order to work. It still works okay, but I can get the same functionality out of just summoning the assistant and asking it to type for me, so it's rather redundant. This functionality on its own works well. Voice dictation is as accurate as your assistant, and that's that. It has been a wonderful experience. Ambient volume can be adjusted on these earphones as well. This is for allowing you to hear everything that goes on in the exterior without having to remove your earphones at all. You can double tap the R button to switch it on or off, or just long press it to adjust the volume. It somewhat enhances the sound of your hearing depending on how high you have it set to, but I can see this being useful. It might even be helpful for people who have a tougher time hearing others, as it enhances all of the noise around you and somewhat compresses any voices you might hear. But people do sound a bit clearer with these. It's pretty cool. Chat mode can be toggled through the R button, but is pretty much exactly like the ambient mode. It just helps pick up external noise much better, hence enhancing those sounds. This is mostly for when you want to listen to music while talking to someone else. Still pretty cool, but rather redundant. These earphones also support noise cancellation, and it actually works pretty decently. Noise cancellation can be toggled through the L button by leaving it pressed. They do cancel out external noise to an extent, but you will also be dependent on how loud you want to set your music. I usually kept my music around the 50% volume mark with this feature turned on, and I can barely hear anything in the exterior. Now this is my experience traveling in a loud NYC train, so it does speak quite a bit for what it's able to accomplish. It blocks out external noise nicely. As for battery life, it's actually pretty good. I never have to worry about these dying before the day is over. They usually last me the whole day with constant use, or even just when they are idling and connected to my device. The battery is managed quite well. I've got no complaints. It should also be noted that these charge through a USB-C. That is a major plus for reliability and charging speeds. Let's talk about the usability aspect of the OV Pros. It's pretty good for sure. They rest comfortably on my neck and in my ears without much bother, and are super light. Sometimes it's pretty easy to forget that they're hanging on your neck even. They sound pretty good and have some convenient features that make it so that it's easy to use my phone without actually lifting it up. Voice dictation works great, and overall the integration with the Google Assistant in particular is pretty much everything I would want from it. The different accessibility modes are useful and have their moments to shine, despite the kind of steep learning curve of memorizing where everything is and which timed presses trigger what. Overall, these do more than other first-party products, making it a strong contender in the smart audio market. But I do have some complaints I would like to see addressed in an OV Pro 2 or something like that. The pairing process is simple enough in essence, but fails more often than not. Sometimes I can just turn on the OV Pros and the Bluetooth on my device and it'll pair immediately. But sometimes I can do the same thing and have it attempt to pair, but never do so until I forget the device altogether and try again. When it decides it won't pair, you will be stuck for quite a while trying to get these connected. It's very annoying, and I hope that they can improve pairing in the future to make it less prone to fail. It would be nice if the OV chat command worked with the messaging app instead of the OV app. The button on the right earbud is pretty tough to reach when the earbud is in your ear, so placing it around where the neck piece is would make it much easier to reach. That's all for my complaints. Not very many, but just some small things I'd like to see changed in the future. We have finally reached the conclusion of this video. We examined a lot throughout this review, but I'm happy to say that the OV Pros are pretty darn good. They sound better than the competition for the same price range, they are more comfortable, and support more features than others. The price is a little steep, which creates a barrier to entry, but the technology is probably interesting enough to justify for a lot of people. I believe they are still ultimately worth the $180 asking price, despite the smaller gripes I mentioned. They get a strong recommendation from me, hands down. But we shouldn't limit ourselves to the smart functionality of one device alone, especially when it comes to your privacy, correct? For that, I also recommend
PureVPN. They offer safe browsing across any web browser while keeping your browsing data away from your internet service provider or any other snoopers. They offer unlimited data transfer from streaming or downloading. They have more than 2,000 servers in over 140 countries and work through desktop and mobile apps. You can also stay active on 5 different devices at once from the same account with 24/7 tech support. To get yourself signed up, click on the affiliate link in the description.
For more content, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And to stay updated when a new video comes out, make sure to click on that bell and enable notifications. For links to everything featured in this video, expect to find those in the description as well as links for what to watch next. This has been Nicholas from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you all later. Enjoy.